3, 2, 1. And we're on.
We're on.
We are on.
What's up, everybody?
So,
Welcome to the Nice Guys Podcast. This is episode 3.
episode 3.
We've done 2.
2 so far.
Oh my gosh, we've done 2.
It's been 3 weeks since we started. And I'm feeling good. You feeling good?
I'm feeling really good. Now, if you haven't caught up with us, go check out our first episode. That's our pilot. We get into discussions about anger and the American educational system. And then last week's episode, we talked about Michael's story. Talked about kind of his life experiences he's gone through and whatnot.
We're not finished.
We're not finished, but
It's good to talk about.
it's good to talk about. And then this week, it's about me. But
About John.
before we get into it, give us a rundown. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's the end of the week. We're recording Friday. You'll see this Monday. But it's the end of the week. Give us the rundown. What did you do this week?
Man, I've been on cloud 9 this whole week, John.
You on Cloud 9?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm on cloud 9. Actually, I've been feeling good, spiritually, physically, mentally, over the past 4 weeks, 3 weeks. I've dropped a decent amount of weight, so we're getting into summer shape now. Bulk is coming towards an end. I capped out like 189. Now we're trimming down. So feeling good, getting my stamina back, my endurance, my athleticism. But work is going good, school's going good, classes are fun, they're interesting. Yeah, life's been good, bro.
That's good.
Life has been good. I don't have any complaints. My car the brakes gave out last week, so I got to change that. So I've been using another car for the time being because I don't have time to change my brakes right now. But
What have you been driving?
you're gonna ask.
What have you been driving?
I've been driving a Honda Passport for the last week or a couple days. It's my mom's car, but they're out of the country right now, and she was like, "I don't want you to drive back to your city." Using your own car with domestic brakes, so just take it for the week and then come back up and change your brakes up in Toledo. So I was like, all right, cool. I took him to the airport, so that's how I ended up with the car. But I've been feeling like a dad.
You've been
bro.
liking that the SUV life, bro.
I've been loving it, bro. I've been feeling. I don't know. I feel like I got my life figured out. That car makes you feel like you just got everything figured out, bro. But in reality, I don't. But what about you?
This week's been hectic.
Really?
In a good way, it's been hectic. I don't know, and we'll probably get into it more when I kind of discuss my story. But at my job, we are contracted by 2 dealerships, and then we have our little headquarters that we only do customer vehicles that they come in from all over the country. It's dope. So I was over there this week. I was at the headquarters this week, and we got a lot of stuff.
Really?
We got a lot of cool stuff.
You were showing me some pictures though.
Yeah. So
Tell them what kind of.
So we had in the shop this week a lot of different vehicles, but we have a couple Ferraris in the shop,
Vroom.
a couple McLarens in the shop, lots of Range Rovers, a lot of brand new Range Rovers. We have, I think right now, like $1 million worth of Range Rovers at the shop.
Jeez. So how is that? So for somebody who has a super nice car, to normal people, like a super nice car, and then for where you work, somebody pulls in with that car and you're just like, bro.
Well,
What?
These Range Rovers,
BMW. What?
Well, there are some models that are.
Granted, yeah.
You know, obviously every company has their super cool car, and then there's and then they have like their economy cars and stuff like that. So if BMW like if an M4 or an M3 rolls up, it's like okay, it's a BMW, it's luxury, but like this thing is built for performance and power. But I don't know, this week a lot of these new Range Rovers, like these are 23 models, we're basically just getting these things detailed for dealerships and whatnot, and these things are nice.
They're exotic cars. They're not normal cars. Even for people who have nice cars, they're not normal. Like these are like elite cars, right? Yeah.
We have packages that are up to $250,000 on some of these Range Rovers.
And just remind the viewers what packages are like.
Okay, so just different trim levels. So different interior, different wheels,
Yeah.
different color packages. It could be it could literally be.
You
anything.
guys sell wheels too.
We are a supplier for HRE.
Okay.
So
okay.
HRE is one of the bigger names in supercar wheels. But yes, we are a supplier for them.
So, deep down, are you still like a JDM boy? Like deep down, or are you been leaning more towards Euro?
I like Euro cars. I like the exotics and all that stuff. It's super fun working on them. But end of the day,
There's just
something about Japanese car culture.
Because you start from scratch.
Yeah.
And you build it yourself.
I think that's the cool thing. In European cars, BMWs, Audis, and Mercedes, you can build those as well.
Yeah.
But out the gate, they're already making a ton of power.
Yeah.
They're already super cool.
I feel like what I see with a lot of European cars is it's a lot of performance-based stuff.
Yeah.
What you get with a lot of JDM, you for sure get a lot of performance-based stuff, right? But the cars are just, you make it unique to yourself.
Yep.
Like, you'll see M4s, whatever, like, with a cool wrap or whatever, but, like, you'll see JDM cars with just
They
crazy.
go above and beyond.
Yeah,
they are all about the over-the-top modification. They're like, listen, we have this little 100 horsepower engine. Can we add another zero onto there and make it 1,000 horsepower engine? And they'll do it, and it's super cool working on it. And we've had a couple like more extreme JDM cars in the shop. So we've had 2017 to that 2020 range of like Acura NSX. We've had GTRs roll on through. We've had Lexuses and whatnot. These more performance oriented Japanese cars. So it's like we're not just working on Italian exotics.
You're getting a lot. You're getting a whole span. But for the most part, would you say you're getting European for the most part, or you're getting everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
European.
Well, because you're from Germain. You're from Germain Mercedes.
Right. So Germain. I'm there more than anything. That's where I'm currently stationed.
Yeah.
I'm there. We're contracted by the Mercedes, the Infiniti, and the Jaguar Land Rover there. And then we're contracted by Midwestern Auto Group, or MAG. They're out in Dublin. And we've done all their Highline. So Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bentley, Rolls. We do all that stuff for them.
Yeah.
And then our main location, literally anything could show. A Honda Odyssey could show up.
Mom car.
Or a Bugatti can show up. It's one
Sometimes
of the
you
two.
get both in the same day.
And sometimes it's both in the same day.
So okay. Yeah. So you'll be like one day or 1 hour you're working on this one car, like a Honda Odyssey, just an average Joe car.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, it's a Bugatti.
The $5 million car shows up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Well, all right. So it sounds like your week's been going pretty decent. My week's have been doing
smooth. Yeah,
smooth sailing. Let's talk about you.
All right.
Let's take it from the top. Let's start at childhood. What did your childhood look like? Where were you born? Did you stay in the same place for a while? Just talk about open up about your childhood.
Absolutely. So, I was born in Virginia, the Nova area. I say Nova, but
They might not know what that is.
Northern Virginia.
There you go.
That's what Nova stands for. So if I say Nova, it's Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington D.C., probably about 45 minutes to an hour outside of D.C.
Yeah.
So when I say Nova, that's the location I'm talking about, because I'm going to say this a lot. But was born there, lived there till I was about 2 years old.
Okay.
When I was 2, we moved to New Hampshire. And
So you moved early then.
I moved early.
Okay.
So I have no recollection of
Those first
of
years.
Virginia
Okay.
when I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember all of that. Wow. No, moved to New Hampshire. My grandparents at the time lived in New Hampshire. They still do.
Right.
Still currently live in New Hampshire. And I think that was it, actually. So my family was kind of scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
I guess let me run down the family tree really quickly. at least on my mother's side.
Mm-hmm.
Grandfather and grandmother. My grandfather was served in U.S. Air Force. Was stationed in Korea where he met my grandmother.
Nice.
So that's where my Korean side comes from, my Korean grandmother. Then my African American side comes from my grandfather.
Right.
So my mom is half Korean, half African American. So are all of her siblings. Then there's my Aunt Robin. We call her Emo.
Mm-hmm. Which is what?
It's aunt in Korean. Emo is aunt in Korean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does it depend on what?
It does vary.
Okay, because I know Arabic is the same way too.
Yeah, it's really weird. I actually don't know the other ways to say aunt.
Okay.
I don't even know how to say uncle, to be honest.
So
I only know her as Emo.
Okay. Yeah.
But she was firstborn. Then there was my Uncle Bobby. Then my mom.
Yeah.
And then my Uncle Tony. He's the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And then it stops there. So my Aunt Robin, or Emo, they currently live in Virginia.
Okay.
My Uncle Bobby
Mm-hmm.
and my Auntie Lori, she's married in. They live in Southern Virginia, closer towards like Norfolk, Virginia Beach,
So
kind of that area.
A lot of your mom's siblings are still in Virginia then.
Yep.
Okay. But the grandparents are still in New Hampshire.
Grandparents are still in New Hampshire. My Uncle Tony and my Aunt Jackie, she's married in. They did live in Virginia. They moved to New Hampshire a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tony's the yoked dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever
Uncle
see
Tony.
a photo of my Uncle Tony, this dude in his prime was just big dude.
Is it short for Anthony or Antonio?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Just a big old brolic dude.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I get that's a little rundown of of my family. But so when I lived in New Hampshire, it was just my grandparents living there. Maybe my Uncle Tony was still living there as well. I don't remember.
You were young.
I was young. Yeah. And to be honest, I have no recollection of New Hampshire.
Really? How long did you live there for?
I was there till about 7. So
Wow.
I lived there
You said
from
5
two
years?
2 to 7, 5 years.
Okay.
And then when I turned 7, moved back to Virginia.
Okay.
Moved back to that same area I was born in, and we were just big chilling.
We're just big chilling.
I guess we kind of fast forward through all of my childhood because all the interesting stuff happens after I moved back to Virginia from New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm. So like from 2 to 7, nothing much going on.
happened.
Nothing enough that for you to remember.
Nothing enough for me to remember. Like
Right.
I do remember. I remember what school I went to. I just don't have any recollection because that to me those were my. It's just boring. It was just kind of my boring.
Yeah.
You're living an everyday kid life, you know.
Yeah, you're a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have no cares. You have no issues. No problems.
Right. All right. So talk to us about Virginia then the second time.
So the second time I went back to Virginia and onward, all the interesting stuff happens. So from 7 to 8, we're chilling.
Big chilling.
Big chilling.
Big chilling.
At 8,
Yeah.
so my whole life just gets switched upside down.
Flips.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Talk about that.
My parents get divorced when I'm 8.
Right.
And for me, it's probably the worst couple of years further
Right.
in my life.
Right.
Because mom and dad aren't together anymore, you know?
Right.
That sucks.
And
you
you're
know?
young.
And you're young, you know? It's like, well, what are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
So you have and as a little kid you have all these thoughts running through your head of like, is it my fault? Is it my mom's fault? Is it my dad's fault? My brother's fault? You know, whose fault is it, right?
Right.
You know? And yeah, it sucked being a little kid, no dad.
Yeah.
You know? So dad moves out. I still see him though. He moved to a little apartment complex near the house that we lived in.
Okay.
It was me, my mom, and my brother Nick, who we will have on the show eventually. So you'll meet Nick. Cool dude.
Yeah.
Sure. But it was just us 3.
Yeah.
And we had to move out of our big single family home and moved into a townhouse. Right. You know what townhouse is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
No,
Ohio.
Yeah, no.
I've never seen a townhouse in Ohio.
Yeah,
I moved here. I was
seen
like,
any in
what?
Columbus.
Yeah.
I have a lot in Toledo, but I have not seen any in Columbus.
Yeah, moved in a townhouse. We rented a townhouse. That was all we did. We lived there, and just life gets tougher and tougher and tougher. Eventually, we have to move out of the townhouse.
Okay.
And when we do that, we're trying to figure out where are we gonna go. Right. My brother at the time, he's moving out.
Okay.
That's another reason why we're moving out of the townhouse.
I was going to ask you, when this is all going down, what is the dynamic that your brother brings in? Because he's not your mom's son.
Right, yeah. So my brother Nick, he's my half brother.
Right.
So we're both my father's sons.
Mm-hmm.
We're both our father's son.
You share the same father, yeah?
We share the same father, yes.
Yeah.
Share different mothers.
Yeah.
So I would say that for me and my brother's dynamic, we didn't really change. And as a little kid, I didn't see the relationship between my brother and my mother, or if there were issues or if there weren't issues.
Right, you're a kid.
I'm a little kid. I don't really
It's
care.
going over your head if there is
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dynamic between me and my brother doesn't change. However, he moves out.
He's growing.
He's almost 10 years. He's like 9 or 10 years older than me.
Yeah, that's the difference between me and my oldest brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at two different stages of life. So he's out of high school by the time I'm getting into middle school. So it's crazy
That's
difference.
a lot, yeah.
So he moves out, gets his own place. That's just me and my mom's. So big townhouse for two people, It's like at that time, that townhouse might as well have been a single family home. Like you could fit 2 bedrooms and like 3 baths, something like that. Crazy.
Right.
So me and my mom, we're like, okay, we gotta find somewhere. And Virginia is a very expensive place to live.
Yeah.
And
why is that? Is it just because it's near big cities?
The Nova area is right by DC, and so a lot of people who live in the Nova area work in DC.
So DC, and for DC is a very, very expensive place, right? Mm-hmm. Especially like downtown DC.
You don't want to live if you live in DC, you are rich.
And it's probably because either you're a politician or you're like some big wig at a company or something like that.
Yep, or you just happen to make really good money.
Yeah. Government
jobs.
So
a lot of people who work these government jobs don't live in DC. Instead, they go to live in Nova, where you can they split up among different cities. So the Nova area, or at least what I know of that, is major cities. So Leesburg, where I lived, Ashburn, adjacent city.
Okay.
Those are kind of like your Westerville areas.
They're like suburbs, then you would say.
Little suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you have Herndon and Reston and Tysons. Those three. Tysons. Those 3 areas are bougie. Like we're talking like Dublin, cranked up.
Really? Dublin, Ohio. So for those of you who don't know, Dublin, Ohio is like a really bougie area.
Bexley
too, probably.
Bexley's in that kind of bougier.
Some part of Bexley's, yeah.
But we're talking cranked up.
Oh yeah, all the government people work there.
It's wild.
Yeah.
How I went back in June and they renovate it all the time. They're always building all this stuff, and it's crazy to me how much it's changed and how many more skyscrapers are going to go up, how many more office buildings are going to go up. It's crazy.
Wow.
But anyways, so living in Virginia is not cheap.
Right.
Like a basic apartment, it could cost you up to like $2,000 a month.
Really?
It's expensive.
Wow.
That's like a cheap apartment.
Wow. Okay.
So it's expensive. So we're looking
sure.
at apartments and stuff, me and my mom, and we don't got that kind of money.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Single mom working a nursing job, working at an allergen office, something like that. Working at a job like that.
Yeah. And it's not the highest paying job.
Not the highest paying job.
Yeah,
nothing that one person cannot live off of that.
Yeah.
Right. So we were fortunate enough to have a family at the church we went to. they had a finished basement with a kitchen, very much like what we live in.
What we got right now.
Very much of like what we got right now. So they're like, hey, why don't you move in with us? And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we take it.
Yeah, of course.
So
of course.
We're living in this family's basement.
Right.
And I'm so thankful for them. They've been a big part of my life. If they do watch this, thank you for literally everything, because God, I don't know what we would have done if you didn't open your home up to us. That's a God thing. That was a God thing. But I don't remember when we moved in. It was definitely through my middle school years, though.
So you're no longer 8 years old then.
I'm no longer 8 years old.
So you stayed in that townhouse for a little bit then.
We stayed in there for...
When you get into middle school, what, around 12 years old?
Maybe like my 5th grade year.
Oh, so you're probably like 11, probably?
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So like my 5th grade to my 7th... To the end of my 7th grade year, we lived in this basement.
Okay.
I would say around then.
Okay.
And the school I went to at the time, it's called Providence Academy. Providence Academy. It was a private Christian school.
Yeah.
Very much like what you went to.
Yep.
Not apostolic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a good Christian school.
For sure.
Which, now that I look back on it, it's like my mom, and I'm so thankful for her, because she sacrificed so much for me to go to a private Christian school. That's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
It's not. You're right. No,
so it's like she's paying for rent. She's paying for my schooling. She's paying for all of this stuff.
For sure. And she's working hard.
And she's
by herself at this point.
She's by herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the reason why the dynamic with me and my mother is so tight. That bond with me and my mother is so tight, because it was just us two.
You guys grew together.
We grew together, exactly. And because she played both mom and dad.
Yeah.
So it's like she was the disciplinary as well as the
shoulder to cry on.
The shoulder to cry on. Exactly.
She was both things.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So I'm trying to think now. So I went to this school, Providence Academy.
Yeah.
And I don't have any crazy stories, like you had or anything like that.
I was a bad kid.
You were a bad kid. We didn't have any crazy stories or any crazy kids or anything like that.
Okay.
But
well, take us through, because I know you mentioned you played baseball.
I played baseball. Yeah. So I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but it'll all connect at some point. Prior to middle school, so I think ever since I moved back to Virginia, I played baseball. I played baseball probably ever since I moved back. So 8 years old till 8 years old till my first year of middle school.
Okay.
And I was good. Yeah. Apparently, I was good. According to every person I've talked to,
Joe DiMaggio,
I was good. I was really good.
Yeah.
I never played a travel league though, and I definitely could have. But
those are expensive.
Travel leagues are expensive.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing for me was like, I don't want to miss church. And on Sundays, that's when you have your games. Is always on Sundays. And it's always on Sundays, right? You know that thought.
I don't know why they do that, but it's always on Sundays.
It's always on Sundays.
No, you're not.
So
lying.
I couldn't play a travel league. So I ended up playing baseball in a county rec league. So
okay, gotcha.
You play in your age group and all that stuff. So,
but you're just dogging on these kids.
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
Well, when
I first started, I was like okay.
Yeah,
but in my family loves baseball.
Oh, so they grew you.
My grandpa, diehard Yankees fan, and that's been bred into me.
Yeah, go Yanks.
He played baseball. He coached both my uncles who played baseball. The youngest uncle, my Uncle Tony, was so good that he was getting recruited by Major League Baseball teams.
Wow.
I think the Pittsburgh Pirates, Texas Rangers.
Wow.
It's wild.
It's in your blood.
It's in my baseball is in my blood. As weird as it's as cliche and cringy or whatever as it sounds, baseball, yes,
Yeah,
is,
it's in
is
your blood.
in my blood.
It's who you are.
It's just incredible. Like, even some of the stories my uncle would tell me. Like one of the players that my uncle played with in high school. His name is Sam Fold.
Sam Fold.
He went on. He did play Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He played for the Rays, Athletics. He played for all these crazy teams. Crazy thing now, though, if you look him up, he's the general manager of the Phillies.
That is insane, bro. Bro.
So he got drafted and all this stuff.
And he
Played
goes through
baseball,
everything. He had a full career,
whole career,
and then he becomes like GM.
and he took some office jobs after he retired for
Bro.
different teams, and eventually one of the coaches recommended him for the general manager position of the Philadelphia Phillies. I believe his first year was also the first year when they went to the World Series. I think this past year or 2 years ago or whatever. I believe that was his first year as GM. That's crazy.
Would you rather be a coach
Or GM?
no.
Oh.
Would you rather be a player or a GM? Or a player or a coach?
Oh.
Which one? Because the coach, like, you're with the team.
I gotta play.
You have to play?
I have to play.
Oh, man.
But when
Yeah.
I played baseball, I tried out a lot of different spots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I figured out I was good at pitching. I was good at catching.
Really? Okay.
But the only thing with me in pitching was I was only good for like an inning.
Oh, and your arm
And
would
then
give out
then I
kind
was
of, or-
then I not that my arm would give out. It's just my accuracy would just
Drop.
plummet. Yeah, wild.
Okay.
So I would just be put in to close games out.
So you'd be like
I was a closer
Were you a PO then? Were you a pitcher only?
for like my first 2 years.
First. Okay.
Like
Okay.
so, again, but you're playing pee wee ball, so it's not that big of a deal, But that's how I got my start in baseball. You're playing
True.
these little games and stuff like that.
So,
But
Okay. So you're playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing good. Are there any other sports that you're playing at this time?
See, I didn't play anything else. I only played baseball, and eventually I switched from pitching to catching.
Okay.
That's when I got good.
That's when you got good at.
That's when I got like good. That's when travel teams started like requesting for me to go to tryouts and going to their like little travel team
I
combines
could
and
just
stuff
imagine
like that.
little Johnny strolling through, just
Right.
with this bat bag and everything.
But the cool thing is though, is every single county we have each county is like their own region within the state.
Yeah.
So what you do is you're selected to play. So if you're good enough, you're selected to play for your regional all-star team.
Right.
And then if you beat all the regional teams in the state, you are selected to go to the League World Series.
Oh.
I never made it to the League World Series.
Bro.
However, I was selected to play for that regional team.
Okay.
So
you were there. You were close though.
The regional team is split up into like 3 or 4 divisions, and I was playing for one of those divisions, and we made it to, I think, like the second or third round or something like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we just got pooped on
Oh.
because those guys from the South, bro.
I'm telling you, bro.
Those guys from the South
Well, I don't
will
know.
dog on you.
It's
oh my
southern.
gosh.
It's those southern things. This is what I've realized with baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You got dudes like Texas, bro. Like
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh my golly, bro.
Texas, Florida, California, all those teams every year
dogging on people.
always make it far in the League World Series. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But the thing when I played for that All-Star team, though, was I didn't play my position.
Okay.
Because, listen, you have team politics even in Little League Baseball.
I know what you mean.
The coach's son was a catcher.
Oh my gosh.
And he was not good. We were running drills, and I am just throwing these dudes out stealing second, and I'm calling out all these things. And I'm good. I know my stuff.
Is your voice squeaky at this point?
Oh yeah.
So you're like,
yeah. My voice is so.
Give an example. Give an example.
It's like, I don't know. Steal! I'll throw the ball. Second base. Yeah, but yeah, coach's son was a catcher,
Yeah, that's
and
whack.
I am dogging on him, bro. I am catching
whack,
everything.
bro.
I'm
That's
throwing
so-
all these people out, and the thing is and that's when I got a good arm, is I could make a really hard throw to second base, all the way
Yeah.
across. But
bro, if I was ever a coach, and my son's on the team,
if
I
you're
don't
not
care.
if you're not good, you're not playing.
Right.
Or if you're good at this, but you want to play this, you're playing the thing you're good at.
Yeah, not the thing.
You're going to do the thing that's going to help the team.
You would be. You have the persona where you'd be a good coach or a good assistant coach. Like
maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
We'll see. But yeah, no, I was a good catcher and all this stuff. I ended up playing first base, which I got good at, but I forced myself to get good at first base because I never played first base until I played on that team. I was decent, and when I played in future leagues, I would say like, listen, my main position is catcher, but I'm first baseman. I can play first base if you need me to.
Okay, so
but after that tournament, they do little county rankings and stuff like that. So I lived in Loudoun County, and I believe they ranked me as like top 3 catchers in the county. So I was like, I told you I was good.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so you go from Virginia, New Hampshire, back to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents split up.
Mm-hmm.
You live in the townhouse, and then you go to this basement.
Yep.
Okay. While you're in this basement, you're going to middle school.
Yep.
I'm assuming you're playing baseball too.
I'm not playing baseball in middle school.
Oh, so that was just
I quit playing baseball because, and I regret this decision so much, because the other 2 sports I decided to play, I was terrible at.
I already know which one.
Exactly. But I stopped playing baseball because all my friends in middle school were starting to play for the middle school basketball team or our middle school football team.
Yeah. Did you play football?
Christian schools don't like violence, so we play flag football.
Oh my gosh.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's super stupid. I'd be like,
yeah.
But that's why I quit baseball, because
you wanted to do.
I wanted to do stuff with my boys, because I'm like, at the time, like those are my friends.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I played middle school basketball, and we had so many dudes that we had to actually make like a JV team in middle school. It was weird.
Okay.
So I'm 5'11" now.
Okay.
In middle school, I was maybe 5'6", 5'7".
Oh my God, you were a big boy. You were tall. Well, for middle school, that's tall.
Kind of.
I was like, I can't. I was like 5'2" in middle school.
I was
5'3".
I was kind of short in middle school.
Really?
I was.
I've been short my whole life, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of. But I got picked to play on the JV team.
Right.
I was the starting center.
Oh man. So okay. So you got this.
I was a chunky center. I was a
power dribble,
big dude. And eventually I was dogging on people because
like crazy.
I'm getting I'm rebound like king. Crazy. Yeah, rebound king.
You're the Dennis Rodman.
Yes. Yes, that was my guy. Yes.
When we play basketball, we have a nickname for John. Every time we play, we'll come out to my college and we'll play sometimes. He played in the intramural league. His nickname is Pitbull.
Yep.
Because that's how he plays. He plays like a pit bull. Like, you don't want to play basketball against this guy.
I go in.
He will go insane.
I will wreck your day if you catch me on a wrong day.
So, okay, you're playing basketball, right? What is your temperament? Are you a serious player? Are you just go with the flow type player? Are you an angry player?
I think for me, because I played on varsity and junior varsity.
So you flip-flopped.
I flip-flopped. Mm-hmm. But my position also changed on both. So in junior varsity, I was center. And I was a dog. I was super serious. I was going in. Yeah. Because it's like, you don't mess with me. And the only guy that I won every tip-off except for the one 8th grade team from one of our rival schools.
Oh, is this the dude with the super tall Asian dude? Is that the one you're telling me?
No, but the whole team is Asian. And they are all about very tall.
Yeah.
That's the only tip-off I've lost. But we dogged on them either way because they just couldn't shoot. Either way. But that was my position in junior varsity. And then when I played for the varsity team, I was a shooting guard.
Oh, my gosh. So you go complete opposite.
So I flip. So that's why, like, whenever we play basketball, that's why I'm like, sometimes I have an identity crisis when I play.
Who am I?
It's like, I want to shoot this 3, but I want to get this rebound at the same time. It's like
I get my own rebound. I shoot it and get my own rebound. Like you're like,
I have a split personality when I play basketball.
Am I Dennis Rodman or am I Klay Thompson?
It's one of the two.
You have the internal conflict.
It's one of the two.
You just get ripped in half.
Exactly.
Well, okay, all right. So you switch from baseball, you go to basketball. Now schooling. Let's go more to the academic side.
Yeah.
How was it at your school? Were you having like struggles? Was it fun for you?
Beast.
You were dog. Like
I was good.
You were smart.
Yeah, I was smart.
Wow. Okay.
I was smart. Now, have I failed tests? Absolutely.
Oh.
I've gotten F's on tests before.
Oh man.
But
I have two. It's okay.
There's.
Uh-oh. John's about to tell a secret. Oh no.
Not even a secret, but like.
John, did you cheat on tests, bro?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was too nice for that. I was too
good.
Yeah.
Too good.
But I wasn't a straight A student, but I made honor roll.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I'm like, if you make honor roll, you're good,
bro. Okay, so in my school, because I'm gonna ask you how it was at your school, but I'll tell you how it was at mine. At my school, if you made honor roll, you were a cool kid.
Oh no, you were a nerd.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is weird because I was a nerd who also played on the basketball team and it was cool with everybody. So it's like
you were chill. You were
I was average. I was average guy. Listen,
yeah.
I was popular with popular kids. I was popular with the nerds.
You were you were just had no circle. You just everybody was your circle.
I was the circle.
You were the circle. I
was the circle.
You Master Oogwayed that, bro.
Yes.
You were just we all won.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow. Okay,
but
so academics are going good then.
Academics were good.
So talk to us then. What is your mom doing at this point? What is Nick doing at this point? How was your dad at this point? Let's bring it back to everybody else.
Yeah. So my mom's still working a nursing job.
Okay.
So
she's still grinding.
She's working 2 nursing jobs though.
So she's grinding. Okay.
All while she is obviously taking care of me.
Yeah.
She was singing on our church's praise team, and we had practices every week.
Midweek practice.
Midweek, so like every Thursday, wow. It'd be like 7 to 9.
Wow.
Yeah, like hardcore.
Yeah.
We had a couple music ministers. We had brother Jeff Walthall. He lives in one of the Carolinas now.
Okay.
John Paul Bellamy. I have no idea where he is. And then I think he still is. But brother Kevin Howard was also.
Kevin Howard. That sounds familiar, actually.
He recently took the job at Urshan to be the choir director.
My brother.
So he's the choir director at Urshan.
Yeah. My brother goes to Urshan. That's probably how I heard the name before.
And he also is the music director at
Urshan's a Bible college, by the way.
Urshan Bible College. But he was also the music director at POA in Louisiana.
Okay.
So he's all over the place.
Yeah.
But during my time in middle school, he was a music director. And and we had those long practices. Sometimes I would go with my mom, and I would chill, I would get into music and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so let's say there's a night then that you're not staying, whatever. Are you staying at the house by yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the time.
Okay, so
all the time.
So you're used to being by yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's your mom then. Your mom's just working. She's grinding.
Working,
all right.
yeah.
What about Nick? What is Nick doing? He's moved out, right?
He's moved out.
Oh, sorry. Someone's calling me.
He's going all over the place with jobs. So
really,
I don't remember where he would be at.
But he's staying in Virginia. But like he's
in
going
Virginia.
different jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
He literally lived like down the street from my house.
Oh, really?
Kind of funny.
So you saw him a lot then?
I saw him a lot. Yeah, he picked me up from school.
Nice. That's your brother.
He helped out. He's super helpful.
He moved out, but it's not like he moved out and then just like
forgot about me. Yeah, no. He was very still much involved in my life. He still is involved in my life. I'm grateful for that because I'm just all this, and I think that's what made the divorce less painful was I had all of this support.
Yeah,
I had all of this support, and there are so many other stories I can tell and whatnot that we just don't have time for. Yeah. And maybe eventually we get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I definitely would say for me, my brother, my aunts and uncles, they were there for me. Obviously my mom.
The mom.
Of course the mom was there for me. But even my dad.
Yeah.
Even though my parents split, he never left the church.
So he went to the same church that you guys were at.
I'm just saying he never left the apostolic doctrine or the faith.
Yeah.
So I was still being pushed by my dad to always be the best man that I can be and always be the best apostolic man that I can be.
You would communicate with him often then?
Yeah, so they had it set up to where every other weekend I'm with him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I would see him every other weekend. And so it was still good. It was still a good time, and it was still good to see him.
So how far away was he from you at that point?
15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So were there ever times that you just see him on the street by accident? Like, no?
No, but he was still very involved in my life, and I'm
Okay.
super thankful for that. Like, he went to all my baseball games. He went to all my
Nice.
basketball games, my
Nice.
football games, and he went to all of my events.
At the end of the day, he's your dad.
At the end of the day, he
he
still
still
wanted to
cares.
be my dad. Yes, and
Anything between him and your mom's is nothing between him and you.
exactly.
Okay.
Like he
Yes,
wasn't he wasn't
yes.
he wasn't the I'm gonna go get the milk and never came
never
back.
come
You
back.
know,
No, he
he
cares
wasn't
about
that.
you.
He cared, and to this day, still checks up on me.
Yeah.
Still cares.
Yeah.
Even now, he's not legally obligated to do anything for me anymore, but he still cares. He's still
because
my dad.
he's a dad. Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
So yeah, I'm very thankful for that.
Okay, so let's switch shifts then.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting done with middle school.
Yeah.
We're getting done with basketball seasons.
Yep.
Baseball's already in the past. Football's already in the past. What is going on now?
What is going on?
You're shifting into high school. How does that look for you?
Okay, so let's see. So during this time, and I forgot to mention in middle school, and since I was 10, I've also been not just playing sports, but I've also been drumming.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is a beast on the drums and also on the bass. Okay?
We're getting to beast levels.
He's beastie on it.
Extremely slow.
Like, he's beastie, bro. He's beastie. Like, don't let him false humility. No, this guy's the real deal.
We are slowly transitioning from drums to bass.
Which, by the way,
I still want to be a drummer, but I definitely think for me, and maybe this is my declare for the draft or something like that. Like,
I am open, I'm free.
but I've always wanted to be a dual musician. I've always wanted to play two instruments.
Yeah.
But I definitely think moving to bass is definitely the move. I've definitely been putting more towards it.
Which I was gonna say, so that they know.
Yeah.
He has stuff on his Instagram, on his personal Instagram, him playing drums, and I think you're about to post a bass video soon, right?
I'm gonna do some bass stuff too once I kind of
Show him some love. It is _JLands.
JLands_official on Instagram.
Okay, so JLands, literally JLANZ
_official.
official, because
Boom.
he's the man. All right, so you get into the drums.
Yep.
Are you playing at your church?
Youth services, stuff like that. Yep.
Okay, so you're
Absolutely.
building up the reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And then drums or bass is not really in the mix right now.
No.
Okay, so you're just pure and you're going crazy. You're going beastie on it.
trying to
Like,
go beastie, right?
Like you're going insane. Okay.
We're trying.
So all of this is going down,
Yep.
right? While you're in what age does it start at?
I started drumming at 10.
So like what, end of 5th grade?
Ish. Yeah.
So you're playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You are playing flag football. You're playing basketball.
Yep.
Your mama's working 2 jobs.
Yep.
Where do you have time to drum? Like, where do you practice at? When do you practice?
So the family we lived with.
What are you drinking? No,
One of their sons played drums, and the husband big into recording.
Really?
Big into recording. This guy, big studio guy. He was. If you wanted a good studio mix, he was the guy you go to.
I didn't even realize this.
Mm-hmm.
So the family that you're living with, I was under the assumption that they were an older family. So they were like a middle-aged family.
Yeah. Well, so their oldest is their daughter, and I believe at this time she was going to CLC in Stockton.
Okay. All right, and are you still are you connected with the family still? Like, you're still tight?
I'm not super tight with them, but my mom's is.
Okay. Got you. Now, the son, does he help you play drums?
He helped teach me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got me started, and
Really?
then the main drummer at the church I went to, Cabell Community Church, shout out Aaron Simmons. He really kind of got me going with that kind of stuff.
So, okay. You're playing drums.
Yep.
you are doing a lot of extracurricular stuff.
Yeah.
When did you find out in your heart where you're like, drums is going to be my number one priority?
Ooh. Probably not until I moved here, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, because I enjoyed drumming and I played for our youth services and I drummed for a couple of camps that our church hosted and stuff like that. Like that stuff's all in fun and good. Yeah. But I was like, it's a fun thing for me to do. I wasn't really pushing myself, and we'll get into me pushing myself when I get here. But so let's fast forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she meets this wonderful man. His name's Jim Johnson.
Jimbo!
And he's from Columbus, Ohio.
C-Bus.
And
I find it funny how none of, like, me and you we're not from Columbus, Ohio.
We're not from Columbus.
We end up living.
Somehow we're here. Yeah. Why we're here? We're in Ohio. Like, of all the places, Columbus. I'm not mad though. I like Columbus. It's a good city.
It's a cool city.
But, and I would say, long story short, they start dating and get married.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. He's my stepdad.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
You get a new father, I guess, a stepdad, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you first met him, I'm sure you had no idea what was going on between him and your mom.
When I first met him, he was buying a treadmill off of us. We had a treadmill, and he
didn't need a treadmill.
Bought the treadmill.
He just wanted to talk to your mom.
Talk about mom.
I love that. Okay, so and Jim is living in Ohio. Mm-hmm. He's living in Columbus. How far is Virginia?
6-hour drive.
6-hour drive.
6-hour drive.
So this dude is willing.
He drove 6 hours just to pick up a treadmill.
He could have just picked one up at Best Buy.
That's what I'm
saying.
And
he would have broke even because of the gas and everything. So Jim loves your mother.
He loves my mom.
And you've seen this firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're driving, or if they're going to Florida,
mm-hmm.
your mom doesn't like flying. So what does Jim do?
He'll drive.
He'll drive.
He don't want to drive to Florida. He wants to fly, but because my mom don't want to fly, she don't like flying.
Yeah.
You know what? Jim's gonna drive with her.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So okay, the first time you meet Jim, how does that go down? He's buying this treadmill.
Dog, I was so confused.
Who?
Like just random white dude just walks in my
and
house.
At this point, Jim is ripped.
He's big. He's bulky. Like, yes. So
like Hulk Hogan.
So like Hulk Hogan white dude walks into my house.
He was like,
"Who is this guy?"
Hey,
but we hit it off.
Really?
It's crazy.
But you had no idea what was going on.
We talk football, we talk sports, like we just hit it off. We get a bite to eat, we hang out.
Just you and him?
Yeah.
Wow.
We just went out. Like he's like, okay, buying a treadmill. Oh, let's get a bite. Okay.
Sounds cool. Cool. Okay, so all this is going down. How old are you? Like what? You're probably 13, 14, 15? Somewhere around there?
6th grade year or so.
Oh,
or no. 7th grade year. 7th grade year is when they started.
So what, 14 probably?
Yeah.
13?
Let's say I'm 13, 14. Yeah.
13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And typically, from experience I've seen, I work at a Boys and Girls Club, so I know a lot about kids who deal with divorce and everything.
Yeah.
Usually they hate their step-parents.
Yeah.
They hate them.
Oh, not the case for me.
Complete opposite.
Loved him.
You love the guy.
I was like, I straight up, my mom said I said this, and I'll agree because I don't want to fight my mom on anything. But apparently, when he left, I literally asked her if he was single.
Stop. You'd be like, Mom,
like, you need to date this guy. I like this guy.
That's awesome. Okay, so,
but they were already talking at this point, because so she was like so relieved. She was like, "Thank you, Jesus," like all this stuff. Yeah. And so like that me and his, our dynamic never changed. So we've always hung out. We've always said. He went to my basketball games when he was in town. He would, do those. He would hang out with us and stuff. And the cool thing too is, my dad was cool with him.
Really?
And
you don't see that all the time.
It was really funny because I think it was our championship basketball game for our school league, and both Jim and my dad show up at the same time. They never met each other, but they're just talking and they're just having a good conversation, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden. Mom walks in, like, hi, what? like, wait, how do you know each other? Like, it's like it's kind of weird, but I was thankful for that too, and my dad was fully supportive of him, and he's like, hey, no, he's a good man of God, and he's gonna help you out.
And that shows a lot of maturity on your dad's part.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of dads who aren't like that.
They don't like the
They hate the stepdad.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, dude, that's so mature on your dad's part. I don't even know, what the strength that has to take.
Yeah,
you know
no,
I mean?
for sure.
On both parts, on your mom's part and your dad's part.
Yeah.
So, okay. You meet Jim. You get comfortable with Jim. Your dad is comfortable with Jim. Tell me about when Jim brings the idea of you guys moving to Columbus.
So,
did you move to Columbus before they got married? Or...
No. Right after.
Okay.
So I think they got married in like May, and we moved up in June. It was like late May, and we moved up in like the first week of June or something like that.
Okay, so where was the wedding at?
Virginia.
Okay, so
we had like a nice little little house thing.
Nice,
it was
nice.
nice, a very little small thing. It was nice.
So, Jim is like, well, you have to move down.
It was really weird because he asked my permission to marry my mom.
Really?
Like, obviously, he asked of my grandpa, who's my mom's dad.
Yeah. But like he asked.
But he asked me too. I was like,
how did he do that? Did he get down when he was like, "Hey, bud"?
Like, well, no, he took me. We got a bite to eat, and he popped the question up. I was like, yes,
100%.
I didn't hesitate because I'm like, I like this guy. My mom likes it. Everyone likes this guy.
And maybe we'll have Jim one day.
Yeah.
But
he said he would do it.
Yeah. You guys will see. Jim is you hit it on the mark. He's a good man. He's a very good man. I don't
biblical scholar.
Oh, bro.
My man's got a brain.
You got a question for him? He's like the encyclopedia. He's boom right there. He's got it.
It's there. Yeah. He's crazy.
So okay, Jim asks you, "Hey, bud, can I? Is it do I have your permission? Is it okay to what do you think about this?" And obviously you say yes, of course. So then he says, "Well, how would you feel about moving to Columbus?" Or what is he?
That for me in my mind, I knew that was a given. He didn't even have to ask me that. I'm like, okay, I'm moving to Ohio. Because I was
mentally
in the possession of my mother legally, so I go where she go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but my thought of that was like, it was fine. Like I didn't really care. So part of me was like, I want to kind of get out of here. Part of me was kind of like, I didn't want to leave Virginia, but I was like, I want to experience something new, and maybe this is my opportunity to do that.
Okay, so let me ask you this then: what is your biological father, your dad? What is he saying about this?
So we were really concerned about how he was going to take it.
Yeah.
But he took it really well.
Okay.
And so, long story short, he was okay with, and we had a lot of travailing prayer over this. It was very much asking God, hey, can you soften my dad's heart so that when we do ask him this question,
that's
he'll be...
Yeah. So, it's not like, he's not like, oh, okay.
No, he's
like...
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But like, Italian raised in Oklahoma.
Oof.
It's weird. It's a weird dynamic, but it somehow it works. It works.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Wow.
But yeah, no, my dad was cool with me moving up and stuff. He's like, hey, just as long as you see me, just come and see me.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, what does it look like? That how often are you seeing your dad?
So we went from every other week to eventually was one weekend a month. Which
so
he was fine with.
So you would travel from Columbus
to Virginia
1 weekend a month
for a weekend, come back up.
So were you flying or were you?
I was driving.
You were driving.
I was not driving. Well, until I hit 17 then I was making those trips on my own.
Who's taking you?
My mother and Jim.
Oh, so yeah, they would take a lot that time.
Yeah,
okay.
Because what they would do is like they would either like stay in that area, or they would take a little trip farther down south or something like that. Like, so they would circle back up. And they would circle back up. We'd all go up.
So he was okay with once a month.
Yeah.
But he wants to be involved in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. That's perfect. That is so. That there are so many other times where parents split up, and it's just so messy.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't, and I feel for those kids because it's like, listen, I mentally for a long time. I was mentally unstable and didn't know what was happening, all that stuff. So I feel for those kids who had to continuously go through that. I was able to pull myself out of it. But with these other kids, they can live up to their adulthood, and they won't, they still deal with it.
Yeah. Okay, so you moved to Columbus. You get things settled away.
Yep.
what happens next?
So Columbus. So at this point,
What are your initial thoughts?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved Columbus. And then I think for me, it was just like, this is a new place. I'm living here. It's crazy. Wow. Like, this is awesome. And wow.
Yeah.
But I would say the things that I would consider to be things I've done that aren't worth really talking about as much. So I moved up after my 7th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
So my 8th grade year through till now, I've lived in Columbus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For my 8th grade year, all the way up to my senior year of high school, I was homeschooled.
Okay.
So I did everything myself. My mom would lay out a curriculum. I would just do it.
No questions asked.
No questions asked.
You just bada bing, bada boom, bada
Bada
bang.
bing, bada boom. Yeah. And it was difficult because there was days where I just didn't do it. I would forget. I slack off hard in homeschool, which is kind of weird because typically it's the other way around.
Yeah,
typically it's like you
homeschool kids-
slack off during when you're
Yeah.
in school and then you pick it up when you're at home. No, it's the other way around. I would say those years, I got fat. I got up to like 230 pounds.
Jeez.
I was a fat kid. Because I wasn't doing anything. You know? It's like,
you're just
you're
chilling
not
at
doing,
home.
you're just chilling.
Yeah.
So, but that's my homeschool time. There's really nothing interesting that happens there.
Okay.
Now, the church I start going to, church I still attend, but we both attend,
No,
the whole family attends, Calvary Apostolic. It's about...
Just saying the name.
Yes! It's a great church.
It is an amazing church. Amazing church. I recommend you guys to watch their live stream if you have time.
It's fantastic.
It's amazing. Very amazing.
Now, if we have our friends on here and all this stuff, they will all attest I was a weird kid.
See, and I never knew John to be a weird kid.
I was awkward. I was awkward.
Did you have squeaky voice at this time?
Weird. I was still squeaky voice.
Hi, my name's John.
Very much so.
Oh, Johnny. Oh,
I was just one of those kids. I was one of those really weird, awkward, socially, like, very antisocial kid. I didn't like any of this stuff.
It's a new environment.
New environment, yeah. And that's probably the big thing. But for me, this is where drumming takes off. I don't play any sports. I focus solely on music.
You're dedicated.
Dedicated.
This is where your love
Hardcore.
grows.
This is where my love for what I do in music grows.
Yeah.
But also where it gets hard.
Yeah. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
We'll talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're good on time.
Take your time, bro.
I'm gonna take my time. But I just want to make sure we're good on time.
Yeah, we're good on time.
We're good on
I
time.
don't even know what time we started, but
Oh,
we're
well,
good.
okay.
It's 9:41, but we're good.
We're good.
We're
Okay,
good. Who
that's
cares?
fine. Anyways,
So, for those of you who don't know, Calvary Apostolic's worship team works in excellence. They try to do, and not even try, they do everything in excellence. Not because they want to be better than, but they want to show respect for God, and they want to give the best of who they are to the best of
we
who
want
there
to
is.
give everything that we have to God.
Exactly.
And that's how we do it, is through demanding excellence out of everybody.
Yeah, so talk about that. How does that
I'm not
look
used
for
to
you?
that, though.
Yeah.
So I come in this new environment, and our band leader is Isaac Cowden, and our worship leader is Mark Crowder.
Yeah. Who are two prolific men
Indeed.
in just in general, but also in music.
Indeed. Isaac went to IBC, Indiana Bible College.
Played keys for them.
Yep. And so he's pretty well known through the UPC
Yeah.
and the Apostolic Church. Mark, I don't know much of his backstory. Maybe we'll have him on one day. Maybe.
Singer-songwriter.
But singer, songwriter, he has an album out. Check it out.
Yeah.
These guys are like bred in music. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're dogs.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like a good dog.
Well, yeah. But I get dogged hard. I get dogged on, bro. I remember my first, oh my gosh, my first time, and the way I kind of got into the music team was there was one Wednesday night where Isaac, he's like, I want to have you play this song, and I remember this song, it was I Will Bless the Lord by Byron Cage. That was a song I had to play for him.
On Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a song I had to play for Isaac. And I play it. He's like, no, it's all wrong. like what? Like my mind was
And you're
blown.
young.
I'm young too.
Yeah, like 15, 14?
And the thing is though, I had never played gospel music.
Oh, so you were used as CCM?
I was CCM. I was the rocky side of Christian music.
Oh man, okay.
Well,
My God's not dead.
Very much like that. Very much.
Oh no!
I was the Hillsong Passion Bethel.
Oh, no,
I was one of those guys.
Elevation.
It was Elevation, yes.
No.
And during my time, I got my butt kicked trying to understand
I'm sure.
how does the Black Gospel Church play music.
Yeah.
And to this day, I am still amazed at all the new things that I hear and all the new details and all this stuff. But Isaac, I credit Isaac to a lot of my growth in my drumming.
So I want you to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Growing is not always flowers and sunshine and rainbows. No. Growing, there's a reason why they call it growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Talk about what went down, what growing pains
look like for okay.
you, yeah, especially at that time.
For me, growing pains were first and foremost just learning to take blunt criticism and constructive criticism, and learning how to just take very straight up honest truth versus kind of sugar coated things.
Because like you said, you're not used to people.
I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So I learned to grow thick skin and learning like, hey, anything I'm getting, it's not to drag me down or anything, but if anything, it's to build me up.
Exactly.
And again, I credit Isaac to a lot of that, because he was like, listen, if you want to play on this team, you got to figure this out. You gotta get out of the CCM. You gotta get into this gospel, the funky side of.
You gotta be loose with it.
You gotta be loose with it. You got his big thing. I didn't play with feeling.
Did you play in the pocket too much? Is that what it was?
No, the thing is pocket in music. It's actually a good thing. You want to be in the pocket.
Oh, okay.
It's being able to play around it and but still be in it. You know, this kind of thing.
Yeah. You weren't, not necessarily, I wouldn't say you weren't creative enough, but you just weren't.
I didn't play with feeling. That was the biggest thing. Is I was a
loved
robot.
it.
I had no dynamics. Yeah. I had none of that.
Too fundamental.
I was too fundamental, and that's what I relied on, was only the fundamentals. I worked with a drummer. His name is Marcos Gonzalez, and Isaac directed me to him. This dude is a beastie, monster. He fixed me real quick with my dynamics. Even how I was holding the sticks was wrong. It was crazy.
Really?
It's crazy how you could just change the hand positioning of your sticks, how much better it feels. It's incredible.
Easier on the hands.
You feel looser.
I
was a robot, dude.
Because, well, think about it. You're up there.
Yeah.
For probably a good almost 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
Playing.
You're just playing.
You're gonna, and that's not an instrument where you're just using your hands.
Mm-hmm. Your whole body.
Your whole body is
all four limbs. Yep.
Right. I can't even imagine how tight you must be after playing. Like, I'm sure you feel muscle cramps sometimes. I'm sure the blisters on your hands.
I've gotten cramps, blisters. I've cut myself sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still do that though.
Yeah.
And I play with feel. But it's just, that's when I started taking drumming seriously. When I discovered, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to go with it. And yeah, I credit Isaac and Mark to a lot of that growth.
Right.
And now to this day, to this day, I am no, I wish I could like play some clips, because night and day difference.
Hey man,
it's wild. But
and okay, so talk about not just the push. Okay, so you talked about a little bit like how much it hurts. Talk about some of the good stuff.
The good stuff.
What good things have you experienced from drumming?
I definitely think with drumming, it went from being very, very by the book. I was able to, as I grew, I was able to become looser. I was able to be more relaxed. I was so tense and so tight
About just everything, right?
About everything. Like, even just like from playing, but even just in like normal stuff. I was just like really tight and,
Man.
and all this stuff. It's wild what music can do.
That's so. I'm so happy you brought that up. Drumming.
Mm-hmm.
How does it affect your everyday life? It brings you joy,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Absolutely.
Is it a release for you from the world?
Absolutely. And nowadays, my release is not just drumming, but I do other stuff. But at that time, for me, getting away and just being able to play whatever, just play.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Even science has proved what music can do to the mind.
Right.
And so it's like I'm able to create this.
We're not
music.
professionals.
We're not professionals. But it's crazy how I'm not just listening to music, but I'm playing to it, or I'm creating my own thing, and I'm doing that kind of stuff. And so one thing it did, it expanded my creative mind.
Right.
It allowed me to become more relaxed, not just in playing, but just in general. In general. And eventually, I went from being this guy who was very quiet to I'll say what needs to be said.
Yeah. For the betterment.
And I'm very easygoing. Go with the flow. Go with the vibe. What's going on?
You went from "Hi, my name is John" to "Hey, I'm John."
What's up? but that's what drumming did, and
because this whole time you're maturing, not
exactly.
just in drumming, but you're also maturing in life.
Exactly.
You're growing. You're getting through high school.
Yeah.
You're experiencing different things. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's drumming.
That's drumming.
And you still drum to this day.
To this day,
I'm drum at the church.
I'm on the team. I'm on the rotation consistently.
Right.
I've been I was very honored.
This Sunday, he's drumming.
I am drumming this Sunday.
And it's gonna be beastie. It's gonna be beastie, man. I'm so excited.
I am very excited for this Sunday. It's gonna be good. But and by the time you watch it, will have been Sunday.
Yeah. So you guys go back
and watch Service, because Service is gonna be fire.
Man, that is such a YouTube moment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I was gonna say something. What?
So okay, you're drumming.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you get into playing bass.
Bass was more of, it was not so much of a want at first, but it was more of like, hey, we kind of need you.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember when I started playing. That's the thing.
Because I knew that when
I started playing in high school.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I remember you used to just like goof around, like you could get around with it. But now you're taking it super serious. You're able to like.
My 11th grade year is I started playing bass.
Right.
So my junior year of high school, I believe, is when I started playing bass. I didn't take it seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, y'all want me to do this? I don't want to do this. I only picked this up because y'all wanted me to.
And they say that bass is usually typically like not the easiest, but the one that branches out into most other.
I viewed it as a very boring instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at the time.
At the time.
But now it's like.
Now it's, to me, there are days where I will learn something on bass or learn something new or something like that, and I find it sometimes more enjoyable than playing drums in some instances.
See, in my head, I view drumming and bass very similar, actually.
They're both rhythm.
Yeah.
So a bassist, his groove is what the drummer is doing. So when me and I just played bass for OIC this past year now, but my boy Justin Hamill, who's another one of the drummers at our church, he played drums for that. I played bass, and the grooves he was doing, I would match with my playing. Yeah. So for bass, you're more rhythmic, but you're also still hitting notes with the rest of the band and stuff like that. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, which I think I really enjoy. But going back to when I started, I didn't take it seriously or anything like that.
Right.
I put it down for maybe 6 months. I still had my bass, and I'd kind of finagle with it, but I didn't really care.
I was goofing around. Because at a certain point, I think there was a certain point that you weren't even touching it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Right? I wasn't touching it at all. So I was at that point when I wasn't touching it. I was just going hard on drums.
Dummy on drums. Right?
I was going crazy, hours and hours and hours. And now, I think past, I don't even know, almost not a year.
Since what? September? I'd say since October. I think since October. September.
Let's say September.
So September, October, November, December, January. 5 months.
Past. Let's say past 4 to 6.
Yeah, so almost half a year.
Almost half a year.
And you have
I took
grown
it
insanely.
extremely seriously.
He plays it almost every night. Oh, he does play every night.
I play bass. I think at least an hour and a half every night, something like that.
Yeah.
And even if I don't get that time in, I have to touch that bass at least once
It's your
in
baby.
the day.
It's your baby.
Yeah.
So now, okay, you're growing at the bass.
Mhm.
You're still a dog at the drums. All right. What is going on? So let's flip it.
Mhm.
What is going now? Professional side. You finish up college. Or you finished up high school.
Yeah.
What's the next step for you?
So for me, during high school, I had a little job. I worked at an Italian ice place called Rita's.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Then after that, the winter of my senior year,
I already know what you're
I worked for a startup car wash.
Oh man, I worked with them as
And
well.
I worked with
We actually got me
we
that
worked
job.
together, and it was actually fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed working with
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but
So
the job was awful. Oh my god, it was just not for either of us because
no, it wasn't. We both ended up leaving.
for you just needed a job.
I needed a job. I needed money. Right.
For me, I'm super into cars, and we will probably get into more of that later in different episodes. I'm super into cars. I'm
Yeah.
into car culture. I go to shows, all this stuff. That was not what I was expecting.
Well,
Working at a car
literally,
wash.
this is a literally brand new car wash. We were there on the opening day.
Yeah, we were the
person.
guys
Yeah,
on
like-
opening day.
Yeah, me and John were literally the people who, like John and I, we used to be openers.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Woke
would
up at 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning and what?
Oh my! How do we do that?
And what was it? It was, and let me remind you, I'm going to school full time at that point.
Yeah, and
You-
I'm a senior in high school, so I'm
You're
still doing school.
You're still in school full time, like.
But I'm working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we're both working and in school.
So, okay, that job was crazy. We would experience a lot of stupid stuff, which we probably can't even mention just because of how bad it was. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of crap that went down at that job. But okay, you quit that job.
I quit.
Okay, you quit what month? March, maybe?
No.
February?
No. January.
You quit the same month you got hired?
I got hired in because I started before you. I got
started like
hired
a week before me, yeah.
I was training though at a different location.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah,
I was
yeah,
training
yeah,
for
yeah,
about like a month before you. So
Right.
I got hired in like December.
Right. And then you left the company.
In late January.
Which the company's doing really good now, and I
Yeah.
credit that to us, to be honest.
We held it down.
We-
We were the backbone, bro.
We held that.
If we didn't show up,
down.
something wasn't running.
So, but this sounds bad, but John leaving was actually really good for me.
So he left.
Well, what happened was I left in like beginning of April, I think, end of March. John got hired as a team lead.
Like a lead, yeah.
I got hired on as a regular employee.
Mm-hmm.
What ends up happening is
I quit.
John leaves.
He gets promoted.
They're like, hey, well, we need an extra hand, and I was on the verge of leaving that job too. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
yeah.
I'm on the same time, and I was like, listen, and I'm not gonna lie, I lied to them. I'm not gonna lie, I lied to them, and I was like, listen, I got an opportunity and another car wash, and they're gonna pay me like $17 an hour. How much can you pay me for the same position?
Yeah.
And they were like, we really like you. We'll do $18 an hour. So I was making like
making good money.
College.
Yeah.
I'm making solid
Yeah.
money. At that time, I'm making solid money. So, John, you leaving did help me.
Helped you out.
Helped me out. But let's talk about you. Mm-hmm. So you leave this job,
Yep.
right? Which is it's literally just think of just a
It's
automatic
an
car wash.
automatic car wash. It's if you live in Ohio, you know Moo, you know what was Gugu. It's like Take 5 now
Yeah,
or
it's
something
Take
like
5 now.
that. Or Turbo, who we worked for.
Which is Turbo has been dominating from what I've seen.
In that area.
In that-
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, talk about what goes down after you leave Turbo.
Absolutely. So, when I leave Turbo, I wanted to do something in the car industry. I didn't know what.
Right.
At one point, I wanted to do mechanics, and I realized I don't want to go to school, though.
Right.
So I was like, I don't want to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
So like, but I want to work in cars.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me do detailing.
Right.
Right. You don't go to school for it necessarily.
Yeah.
And if you work for a good enough company, they train you good.
Right.
Well, I just happen to know of the best detailing company in the state,
And probably the Midwest.
probably the Midwest,
Possibly the country, to be honest.
maybe even like the East Coast.
I think almost the whole... Bro, you had Myles Garrett show up.
That is true, and we'll touch on that. But these guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, I work for Esoteric.
Right.
Esoteric Fine Auto Finishing, I believe, is their title.
Highly skilled people.
These guys are crazy. I remember walking in my first day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not.
He took me in one day.
Ready.
He took me in one day, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know
what's
you are
going
doing.
on.
Like, I thought I knew how to detail a car. This dude is like doing things that I've never even seen before.
It's crazy,
right? So you're working there.
I show up, and like I mentioned earlier in the episode, we're contracted. So we are contracted by the Germain Mercedes, Germain Infiniti, Germain Land Rover, and Jaguar.
Yeah.
And then we're also contracted by Midwestern Auto Group and all the Highline dealerships there, and then our own main location.
Right.
Our HQ. So
that's just so dope to say, my HQ.
Our HQ, yeah. But I started at the dealership. Every guy, when you get hired, every dude starts at the dealership.
Which one, Germain?
The Germain dealership.
Okay, which is where you're at
because, now. And I'm still there, but
yeah. But there was a lot that went down. Talk about that.
We'll get there at some point. So I pick it up a lot, and I feel like I'm starting to get noticed and stuff like that.
Right.
So I get sent over to our main location for training and for just stuff like that. I was there for a couple, like 2.5 months, maybe even 3 months. I was there for a majority of the summer. And you do stuff at HQ that you don't do at the dealership. At the dealership, you're prepping new cars and sold cars for customers, and you're doing trade-in inventory and stuff like that. You're doing a lot of stuff, but it's a lot of surface level stuff. You're not doing crazy things. You go to our HQ, you're doing paint corrections, you're ceramic coating cars. There's our own paint protection film department, which, a brief description, it's a piece of, essentially, I'm really making a very broad statement about this because it's not, it's so much more than what I'm about to say it is.
It's complex, but
essentially it's a piece of plastic that they stick over your car and over all the painted areas of your car. It's protected. No scratches, no chips, nothing like that.
Saran wrap on steroids, basically.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. It's saran wrap on steroids.
Impenetrable.
But there's all this stuff we do. We do window tint too, like crazy. Right. We do all these other things. So I show up there for a couple of months. I get really good at ceramic coating. Eventually, I become the ceramic coating guy. And any car we get, no matter what it is, it could be a Tesla, which we were getting a lot of at the time. It could be a C8 Corvette, which we were also getting a lot of at the time.
Right.
Or if I get lucky, Mercedes GT Black Series. That's like a $500,000 car.
Yeah.
Did one of those, and to this day, my favorite car I've ever worked on. We had a brand new Ferrari SF90. I believe it's like a $700,000 car with the trim that it got and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Belongs to an NFL player.
Talk about it.
Myles Garrett, defensive end for the Cleveland Browns. Buys his car from Mag and says, "Hey, I want all this stuff done." And I just happen to be the guys that I happen to be one of the guys that ceramic coated his SF90.
And this is the thing.
It's so cool. This is like my second day at the HQ. This wasn't like I was there for like a month or two. No, this was like my first week.
Right.
And I'm doing that. I'm like,
and you can't mess up on his car or he will hit you in the head with a helmet.
Might as well.
Yeah. Like if you mess up.
I was so scared because I'm like, if I mess this up, I'm not only in trouble with
Myles Garrett, if you're watching, this is the man who did your car.
I coated your car. You're welcome.
But okay, so you're working, you're doing all these different things.
I'm learning all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I'm not going to get into it because in the event that someone from the company does listen, I don't want to say anything. But some stuff happens. I get sent back to the Mercedes dealer, the Germain dealerships.
Right.
But this is where a lot of stuff kind of starts changing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I start doing a lot of paint correcting things, stuff that I wasn't doing a lot of at the main location, but I was doing a lot of at the Germain location now.
Right.
I'm now paint correcting a lot of trading cars and stuff like that. I think while I was there, I paint corrected a Bentley Continental. I think my favorite one has to be, it's a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I did a single stage on that. That was cool. Very, very basic paint correction. It's a single stage. Did a lot of stuff like that. And then I'm starting to be used as like a hybrid guy, where I'm sent to different locations based upon the need that's there. So I'm mainly at the Germain spot, but if they need help at MAG, I'm gonna go to MAG.
Right.
If they need help at the main location, I'm there. I know exactly what to do
because
in every single spot.
Because you're the guy who's trained in everything. Mm-hmm. You are literally the Swiss Army knife of esoteric.
Yeah,
and people are noticing that.
I'm one of the only guys that is, I guess, has the training to do that, and I'm very thankful and I'm very happy that I have that opportunity.
And you're tight with the ball. You're tight with the owner. You're tight with the owner.
Not like the owner, but I'm cool with everybody. Yeah. I'm pretty chill with everybody.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I mean that's kind of what I do as a profession, and I'm super happy, and maybe even maybe one day I might go into business for myself. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just kind of see what the Lord decides to do. We'll say that.
Amen. Praise God.
But with this job, I bought a second car.
Talk about that.
Bought a 2018 Honda Civic Type R.
That thing is sick. That thing rips.
I love that thing.
Oh, man.
And we'll get into it in another episode, but it's currently down. Currently down.
No engine.
No engine, no performance, nothing like that. It's a tire issue. I'll just say it like that. It's a tire issue.
Down for the winter.
Honda was being stupid, and they said, let's stick on these little rubber band tires on these 20-inch wheels on a car that's meant to be driven crazy.
Yeah,
so that's their fault. And I wish it was legal to sue Honda over that, but I can't do that, unfortunately.
You bought the car.
I bought the car.
You knew what was going on.
I knew, yeah. But I'm super thankful to have that.
You got this car, and you're working full time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have side gigs. You want to share about what your side gigs are?
Yeah, so I detail on the side. I'm currently in the process of buying all the materials I need to kind of run a weekend operation, so I can do stuff on Saturdays and stuff like that.
Not taking away from esoteric, but adding to your repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I also do photography.
Right. So that's what I wanted you to get at. Talk about that.
So for me in photography, I am kind of a one-trick pony when it comes to photography. I don't do people. I don't do nature or animals. I do cars. I specifically kind of taught myself automotive photography and everything that has to do with that. So
which by the way, it's legit. Like, it's not, I'm gonna take photos of you and you'll get it like 3 months later. Like, no, this guy's legit. He's gotten paid to do it. Mm-hmm. His stuff has been put on Instagram for Columbus. I don't know if you guys know
Columbus Cars and Coffee.
Yeah, they'll use his photos.
I have, my
like,
photos.
He's legit. He's a good photographer. And actually, shout out what your Instagram is for photography.
So is Tay_Soak_photo. That's my Instagram. Tay TAE Soak SCOK. SEOK.
Yep.
And then photo. Tay Soak is my Korean name.
Right.
That was given to me by my grandmother. I'm very honored to have that name.
Right.
But that's what I use as my photography.
And guys, for real, he is legit.
If you are watching this and you own a vehicle that is a nice vehicle, even if it's not a nice vehicle, if you have like a Honda CR-V or something like that and you just want some dope pictures, hit me up.
In my CR-V.
I'll make that CR-V look good. But anyways.
And he details too. So
he's
a jack of all trades.
I do a lot of things.
He is literally a Swiss Army knife. He's literally... Okay, so let's look at where we're at right now. So you're still at esoteric.
Yep.
You're still doing photography.
Yep.
You're still doing detailing on the side.
Yep.
Is there anything else that's happening in this point of time besides us living with each other?
Right. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something, or like you're alluding to something, but I'm not sure. We're doing this.
Right. So I guess we could bring it fully back to present.
Yeah.
Present day. A couple weeks ago, John was like, you know what, let's start a podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
We were just like, this is a dope idea.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And so, present day then, that's where we're at right now.
Yep. I'm working. You're at school.
Right. I'm working as well. We're getting our lives figured out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And our stories, although are very different, there are a lot of stuff that we haven't talked about, but that we relate about in life.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of personal stuff, but we actually relate a lot of the stuff that we've been through, whether it's moving around, whether it's playing sports, whatever. We relate a lot, which is why our relationship is so good. Like, it's why we have good chemistry, not only on the podcast, but off the podcast. But, yeah. So, officially, we have told my whole story. We have told your whole story.
Yeah.
And we are here, present day.
Yeah. So, I would say, to wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
What are you looking forward to in 2023?
That is a... Bro, that is a good...
What is something that you can do? What is something maybe I can do? That...
Do you want me to speak for you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying...
Just in general?
For 2023.
You go first. Let me think about it. Okay. You go first.
I would say 2023. I would like to... Some stuff is little, some stuff is big. Right. Little stuff. I want to start modifying the car.
Nice.
I want to start building it. I want to start making it my own. I want to hopefully have all the materials I need so I can run a full weekend side gig for detailing. And I'm hoping for photography. I'm able to pick up more clients. I was very fortunate last year. I shot a 90s NSX last year. Got paid for that.
Bro, that's such a sick shoot. Bro,
shout out to Marvin Moaning, something like that. It was one of the two. Chill dude. Very thankful for him. Right. He's very supportive. I'm very supportive of him. And we're chill. Shot our buddy Diego's.
Right.
Slammed Acura TSX. Very, very fortunate to shoot that. And then just other little things. I'm very fortunate enough to have shot Bugattis, $1 million cars, $1 million plus cars.
Guys, he's legit.
And so I'm hoping for next year that I pick up more clients. I had 2 paid clients last year. I'm hoping to pick up hopefully more than 2. So we're looking for an increase, increase in photography clients, an increase in detailing clients for myself,
right?
An increase in experience for myself, and hopefully maybe maybe some other things.
Right. All right. Well,
what about you?
For me, I want one of my resolutions this year, and this is a goal that I've always had. I shouldn't say always had, but this is a goal that I've had for a while. Is I want people to feel like they are the most important person in the world when I talk to them.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that consistently. But I realized that, for me personally, I feel that my calling from God is to reach different ethnic groups. So not just English speakers.
Yeah.
I want to reach Spanish speakers. And one thing recently is also French speakers as well. So what I would like to do by the end of this year is, well, 1, sharpen my Spanish skills, but 2, begin to develop, I'm not saying be fluent, but begin to develop my French skills as well.
It's good.
I know how to say a few things. I connected with a couple guys a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
Who speak French, and we just had a good conversation, and they taught me a few things and what to expect, and not just like European French. Like, I want to learn French from like the African nations.
Yeah.
Right.
The Ivory Coast.
Yeah. A lot of these nations. I want to be able to reach a lot of different groups. So what I want to do is I want to start teaching Bible studies in Spanish and in English and in French. So I have some stuff in the works.
That's good.
that's kind of what I want to do. In terms of like my car, John could tell you, I am in love with an LS400.
Lexus LS400.
Which is like, oh man, I won't even go into it. But I want to get an LS400 by the end of this year. They're not that bad price wise, but yeah. So those are my outcomes. There's a lot of stuff. I've just been, I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it in a different episode.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on, and life is looking good right now.
Yeah.
I just want to continue that.
That's
but
good. I want to get good at bass too.
That's a good one.
I'm 2023. This is my declare for the draft right here.
Talk about it.
This 2023 is gonna be the year where I just 80% bass, 20% drums.
Oh man.
With having the same skill set, but this is the year I'm going to have an extreme focus on getting good at bass to
sharpen your skills,
to progress extremely well and to progress quickly. This is gonna be the year I'm gonna be very hard focused on that. But yeah,
you can do it, bro.
I can do it, absolutely. So to close it out, thank you all for watching. We are the Nice Guys.
We're the Nice Guys.
I'm John.
Je m'appelle Michael.
Oh, je m'appelle Michael.
That means I'm Michael in French.
And I guess little update for next week. Next week, we're going to have our first guest on the show. His name is Tate Sayachek. Beast. Very good friend of mine, very good friend of his. And we're gonna talk. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk hobbies and talk a lot of we're just going to talk. We're gonna have a good conversation. It's gonna be a good thing. But we're gonna have our first guest on the show, so check us out next week.
Right.
Not next Monday.
2 weeks Monday.
This
is a YouTuber moment, bro.
This is weird, bro, because we're shooting on Friday and we're posting on Monday.
That's right.
So next Monday, because you're gonna watch this on Monday. So next Monday.
In 2 Mondays.
For us, it's 2 Mondays, but for you guys, it's one Monday.
Yeah. They get the point.
They get the point.
We'll
Tate Sayachek, 12 p.m. as always on Monday. Absolutely. So, I'm John.
I'm Michael.
Peace out.
Peace on the streets.